Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be covering every feature that's available on the Glowforge's user interface here. We've already previously covered some of these, such as uploading the design, all of these on the left-hand side, which are the free premium subscription designs, all categorized. So you guys can play around with those on yourself if you didn't watch those videos yet and you want a more in-depth view of it. Check out the previous episodes on those. We're going to skip those for now. Same with the dashboard. We've already covered this entire dashboard here. The only thing that I don't know if I did cover is the My Designs button here. When you click on it, it's going to look like this right here. I already previously opened all of these in a row to save some time for you guys. But whenever you open this is just self-explanatory. It's basically every design that you've recently uploaded yourself. That's not a premium feature. Let's go back to the dashboard, and then the next one up is going to be this catalog button. Catalog is going to bring you to this screen here, and you can either browse by the catalog designs here, but what most people will want is this button right here, the free with premium. If you want any of the paid designs, you can go to all designs or by category on this page as well as that home page, but free with premium is going to be what you use most. So we're going to click on that, and as you can see, there is oodles and oodles of premium designs that you can print off. You can also categorize them by like beginner level, the time that it prints by, or you can shop for like a designer. If you want to see like all my designs, for example, you'll just go down to my name here under Joshua Wenning, Fresh Start Customs, and here's all the designs that I offer in the free with premium subscription. So if you want to try out any of my designs for free, there you go. Those are all mine. So let's jump back over to the next button here is the shop. Same thing, it's going to bring you to this screen. Looks a little bit different. It's also going to be under this drop down here under shop. And then you can scroll down and it'll show the catalog again if you want that. But what we're going to be focusing on is the actual shop materials over here. So you can view all materials. And it's going to look like this, so you can view all of their proof grade materials. I talked about this in a previous video that we're going to touch base on this. But with proof grade materials, they all have like the QR codes that we talked about in a previous video. And all the settings that are preset for this. So if you want like a specific type, like leather, acrylic, draft board, plywood, etc., this is where you can get it from. They are kind of expensive. Let me click on plywood, for example. This is kind of the pricing that you can be expecting with proof grade material. It is kind of expensive, but that's totally up to you if you want to shop with their material size. Their Glowforge premium designs are all made for Glowforge proof grade material, so just keep that in mind whenever you go to print them. That's what they are made for. Next up is going to be your community tab. The community tab is going to look something like this here. And you're going to have all of these different options to select from on categories. There'll also be like a new topic button that shows up here if there's new topics that comes up. You can also click the plus button next to a new topic and create your own topic. But basically, if there's something going on in the community, you can view this here and go from there. Recently, there was a bug that was happening. As you can see, material thickness goes white screen. And then you can click on that and kind of read about it. And you can see what is going on, how people are posting and getting help here. So if you need help from the community, this tab is perfect for that. You guys can kind of navigate around on your own on this. It's pretty self-explanatory, and if you're looking for help from other users and you can't get a hold of Glowforge's support right away because their support does take a while to get a hold of, this is a great resource. And lastly, we have this support button here. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you to this tab here, and it's going to look like this. This is basically questions that if you need help, or if you need to contact Glowforge, you can do it here. They also have like cool little videos here that you can watch for help as well. These are all of their little pre-made tutorials and articles. Shows you how to clean your Glowforge, safety, such as like material that you don't want to cut because it could be dangerous. All of that good stuff, especially alignment. I would definitely check out alignment if your machine isn't aligned properly. We're going to go back to the dashboard again. This new button right here, what that does is it shows you the latest improvements of what they've recently released on Glowforge, updates wise. So check that out. And then lastly is this little drop down here. With the drop down, this is going to show all of your Glowforges that are available that you own. The settings button is going to bring you to your user account with all your machines and different personal information. I'm not going to click on that because I don't need my personal information out there. And then you can also add users if you need to add a user, such as a family member. You can type in their email address and they'll have access. And then lastly is if you want to share like your referral link, you can learn some more information about that here at the bottom. If you need a referral link to save some money off of a machine, I do have that down in the description below. It helps both you and me. So I'd appreciate it if you do use that if you need to save up to $500 off. Lastly, when you create a new design, it's going to show up just like our previous video. It looks like this. We're going to cover every single one of these features too quickly. On the left-hand side is the settings. Watch the last episode. I did a super detailed, in-depth video on all the settings that Glowforge has to offer. So check that one out. Next up is the zoom feature. So obviously just zoom in or out. You can see this little circle here. This little arrow here is the select tool. So you can select and move your items around. As you can see, I'm moving that circle there. The pan tool is where you can pan and leave the circle in place. But as you can see, these rulers are moving, so you can kind of pan around your image there if you have to. That's what that's for. Next up is the undo. So like if I move this and I want to hit undo, it'll move it back. And then I can hit redo and it'll remove it forward. So those are pretty self-explanatory. The center button is import artwork. If you have Glowforge Premium, you can upgrade or you can post any of these designs just by clicking on it. So I'll click on this bird, for example. It'll put it right here. These are free little designs that come with the Premium program. You can also get them for free from Noun Project. It's a website that they got all of this artwork from originally and made it part of the subscription plan. So if you don't want to pay for a subscription and you need those, you can get them from there as well. Up top is the trace button, so that's kind of what I touched on in the first or second video, I can't remember. That's where you draw like on a piece of paper, you put it in your machine, hit trace, your machine will then take a picture of that paper that you drew on, and then you can engrave your image from there. And then upload is kind of what we did in the second video, showing you how to upload a design. You can upload it from here too. And the search bar is searching for any of these images below. You can search for anything you want, and it'll try its best to find something available. Next up is the Magic Canvas tool. This is the artificial intelligence option that they upgraded to recently. I did a full in-depth video on this, so check out the Glowforge user interface Magic Canvas AI tool video if you want a very in-depth detail. But basically anything you type in here and you select an art style, it's going to auto-generate and create. So for example, if I type in the word dog and then I just click like this super cute button and hit make magic, it's going to create an image of a dog here. And as you can see, this dog's missing an eye, so you can regenerate it here. Click make more magic until you find an image that you actually like. As you can see, it does make some weird looking images, but eventually it will make something that's usable for you. If you like this one, you can just click use this image, and then you can edit the image by adjusting artwork here. And then you can fine tune, you can erase, you can crop, you can change the brightness, contrast, etc. There's so many different options that you can do. When you hit apply changes, that's going to show up on the Glowforge user interface. I'm going to just hit cancel for now because that takes a while to upload. And I don't want to slow down this video for you guys. Like I said, if I'm going too fast, you can rewind or pause anytime. And then check out the more in-depth details that I'm going, or detailed videos that I'm going slower in. Next up is the insert shapes. So I believe this is a Glowforge premium feature as well. So you can insert any of these 5 shapes here just by clicking on it. So if we click a star, it uploads a star just like that. And then you can change like the number of points, the sharpness, etc. Then you have text. You can add text. You can put your text up here where it says your text here. You can change the text format or font. You can go big and bold and find them by variation here. You can also make it in bold itself, and etc. It's pretty self-explanatory there. You can choose all your spacing, your sizes, alignment, all the good stuff that you would get in any kind of text input design. And then on the drop down here, this is going to be something that you probably use pretty often, is a lot of these features that are hidden in the drop down option with these 3 dots. So refresh bed image is if for some reason your bed isn't updating, you can refresh that capture from your camera. Set focus, you're going to use this every single print. You're going to click set focus, and then when you hit set focus, you're going to click on your actual material in the bed to focus your laser head so it can get the accurate size of your material thickness, and then it'll be able to cut through your material easier. So you use that every single time. Align to snap mark is a beta feature that came out a long time ago, and then it kind of disappeared. I don't think you can even get this on certain machines. You have to have a machine that was old enough when it was out to have this feature still. But you really don't need it. It's basically where it would have 2 Glowforge images that you would drop down, and it would help align a print easier before the alignment tool came out officially. So you may not see that feature. If you do, then you just have one that was available at the time. Submit to design to catalog is basically if you want to submit to the Glowforge premium catalog a design that you have to try and sell it, and Glowforge will pay you for that design. Design details is for mainly for Glowforge premium designs. So if you need instructions for those, you'll just click on design details, and it'll pull up all the instructions. Export design is, let's say I like this design, how I made it here. You would just click export design. It'll save it as an SVG file. That's basically like if you create the designs using only Glowforge premium features within this app itself, and you want to export it out of this app to then sell the design or to upload it to a different laser. Past prints is kind of like Time Machine for Glowforge versus Time Machine for a Mac computer. It'll bring you back in time to a previous edit that you've done in this design. So it's kind of like an undo button, but after you've done it. So let's say I delete this bird here, and then I exit out of this this software and then come back into it later. The undo button won't be there, but this past prints will let me go back in time to a past thing that I've done in that design. So it's kind of like Time Machine. Keyboard shortcuts, that's self-explanatory. It shows you every single keyboard shortcut that you can do within the Glowforge user interface. I think they've recently added this. I don't remember seeing this until now. So that's really cool that they added this in. So if you never used one of the shortcuts, here's all of them right here on a list. You can take a screenshot if needed. Next up is the preferences. So the preferences, I did a really detailed video on this too. I've noticed it didn't really work lately for me, but you can choose different colors. Instead of the line showing up red, it'll show up green or pink. You can also make it more visible instead of more precise, which will make the lines thicker and more pronounced like this, easier to see. But sometimes it'll blur out like your text or something. I usually leave everything on default, which is this here, but you can choose which one you want there. And then lastly are these 2 other ones here. If you prefer centimeters over inches, you can switch that over. I prefer inches, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then your air filter attached is, that basically means that the air filter is attached, and then you're going to use like an external fan or the air filter if it's on. Or if you turn it off, that means it's not attached, and you're going to blow it outside the window. So if you don't have an air filter or an external fan, make sure this is off. If you do have an air filter or an external fan like I do on this machine, make sure this is on. And then obviously the last one is going to be the print. So once you're ready to print, you'll hit print here. If your machine is turned off like mine is, it's going to say offline. If it's online, it'll show like a glowy cloud symbol here versus a cloud symbol with a slash in it. And you'll just hit print. And then lastly, if you select an image, let's say this text, you have all of these other options too. So you can either edit the text up here again, which will be this box off to the left here. This also works with circles and stars, any kind of image. You'll have all of these options here. You can create outlines if you want to create an outline, which will just be like an outline path. You can flip it vertically to make it upside down. Flip it horizontally to invert it here. There's also a pattern line, which is kind of like an outside line, but you make a pattern. So let me select the circle for that, and it'll be easier. We'll click the pattern line, and we'll do something like stitch holes, and then we'll click create pattern. And that'll take a little bit for this to process here. Hopefully it'll go a little quick. As you can see, now it is stitch holes. So there's a bunch of dots instead of the dashes. You can do anything that you need there. So if you want to change the pattern, you can change the pattern. We'll just do repeating shapes to make it bigger. So as you can see right here, we got bigger holes now. And then you can change the shapes to different styles. We can click like this thing, for example, and it'll look like this. That's what that does. Next up, you got a puzzle maker, so you can create a puzzle. You can tell it how big you want it to be, etc. And then you just click create puzzle. You can make a stamp. The stamp tool will look something like this after you print it off. And then you can create a stamp out of your designs too. You just click create stamp after you have the amount of padding around the design you want to make. Lastly, at the very bottom is the alignment tool. So if you need to align more than one thing, so let's say we highlight both of these, we can align them in the centers to make it completely centered between these two designs. And you can align however you need with this. And lastly is your ruler tool. So if you need more accurate information within the app itself, you can change the sizes here. So let's say we want to make this 7 inches. And as you can see, it kept the actual scale of it, so it scaled down automatically. You can change that to anything that you want from here. And that's pretty much it. That is every single feature that's available within the Glowforge user interface. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If I missed something, let me know. I know there's a lot of features to cover. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.